Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Tinfoil Tuesday. How are you doing? I'm Hannah, and we're here to take a look at all sorts of new conspiratorial content, discuss it, talk about why conspiracy theories generally aren't true, talk about why people believe them, what they believe, and have some fun. So how's it going, everyone? Let's see what we missed in the chat. Overthought with 100 bits says can't stay long. Been visiting family the last few days, but happy Tinfoil Tuesday to Hannah and the rest of chat. Thank you very much. Trey with 49 months says 49 months, damn wild. Happy to be here. Happy to have you, Trey. What else? I think that's it as of right now. We are playing bingo, so feel free to get your bingo cards ready. If for some reason that's not working over on YouTube, as it hasn't been, here's a link over on YouTube. I will pin that as well. Let's see. Oh, Hype Train, Piper Draws and stuff. Thanks for 27 months. Third sub baby kicks off a Hype Train. This sub baby's name is Hype Baby. This baby's gonna have a hell of a life. Hype Baby. 55% to level 1. Messy Jaden with the 3 stream streak says, damn you Twitch, it reset my streak. I'm on a 30-day streak, not a 3-day. Take that, you'll just have to watch more streams. Let's see, we are doing a costume month goal. We're coming to the end of costume month. We are in the last third of costume month. Everyday Discord is voting on what costumes I wear. I will set a poll together to get a new costume for this end of costume month. And if you want another costume month, we are a third of the way there virtually. So this is going faster than I thought it would, and you can do that via the tip link. It's always appreciated. It's the end of the month, rent's coming up, and frankly, my account's in the negative, so feel free to help out with the tip link if you can. It would be much appreciated. 55% to level 1 in the Hype Train. Before we get into Jessie Lee Peterson, I wanted to look at something. You've heard of puppet milk, but have you heard of clowns and their affinity for milk? That's an intro. That's what I decided. That's the intro to this segment. You're welcome. Creepy Doll on the Wall, thanks for 34 months. Let's check out this video about clowns and milk. Hey, Chiba Hawk.
Hello everybody and welcome back for another episode. Today we're gonna be talking about the Nephilim Look Like Clowns Part 5, and it's titled Got Milk. Now the reason why I settled on that title is because when you start looking into some of these rituals involving milk, you can find connections to...
Gotta be careful about those milk rituals. Eyes Get Animate, thanks for 28 months at tier 1, says the real conspiracy is capitalism.
To satanic influences.
Satanic on the bingo card. That was quick.
The
Level 1 in the Hype Train complete, by the way. Thank you very much.
Elite milk baths, these baptisms, if you will, by milk. And there's just these really weird connections, and some of them even involve clowns. So that's where this video comes in. Now, as I started looking into this weird connection between clowns and milk cartons and all these sorts of things, I came across this clown called Milky the Clown, who I believe was local to the Detroit area. But
oh no, Michigan! Milky the Clown! No! Milky.
There was this company, I believe, called Twin
Mike Mags, thanks for 35 months.
Pines, and this Milky the Clown was their mascot, and he...
That's a bad choice. I'm not even really afraid of clowns, but they are, kind of gross. No offense if anyone's a clown. I have nothing personal against, people who play clowns. I just mean, on a visceral level, the archetype of a clown is kind of gross. I don't know how to explain it. I don't want milk in the first place, at least not dairy milk. I'm not even a vegetarian or a vegan or anything. Just personally, dairy milk doesn't taste as good as, oat milk to me. Just, whatever. Also kind of lactose intolerant, so, it is what it is. But I think the only thing that could make me want milk less is to put a clown on the carton. I don't want to drink a milky white substance while thinking of clowns.
Even started appearing on milk cartons. And this Clown, I believe he appeared on all three major
Humiliated Grapes, thank you so much for gifting 10 Tier 1 subs to the community. That's 10 people, 10 Stanas who no longer have to watch ads for the next month on this channel. Much appreciated.
Detroit television stations, primarily in the 50s and early part of the 60s. So just a lot of coverage of this clown. He's on milk cartons. And he was, as I said, he was the mascot for this Twin Pines dairy. And apparently they kept his face on milk cartons until the 1990s. So, okay, so what, right? There's a clown.
Twin Pines, founded by Old Man Peabody, who had a crazy idea about breeding pine trees.
Associated with this dairy company and milk, and his face is on milk cartons. But you know, as we keep looking, there's this crossover with Milky the Clown and Bozo the Clown. And when you start digging into it, you can find Bozo the Clown associated with milk and milk cartons. He was on several milk cartons as well. So
okay, the yellow milk carton Bozo. See what I mean? This is not milk. Don't put milk in a yellow carton. I don't know the psychology of why I don't want to think about yellow and milk, probably because your brain goes sour milk. Don't make a milk carton yellow! That's disgusting! My brain doesn't like it.
So there seems to be this connection.
Hydrate, can do.
Between milk and these clowns, and I don't think that that's just coincidental. I believe there's always like a bigger thing happening behind the scenes. And you know, when you start thinking about
Senekagami says, don't know how much I'll be in today, got off work early and wanted to spend time with family, plus don't know how much Jessie Lee Peterson I can stand. Don't blame you.
About missing
1% to level 4 on the hype train.
People, and I think this is just a scene from the movie.
My mic was peaking there for a minute. Is it okay now?
Lost Boys. There was this other really unique phenomenon that happened, I believe it was in the 80s, and that was called the missing children on the milk cartons.
Yeah, the story behind these is actually pretty interesting. I get the idea for this was, hey, get missing children's faces in front of people. Same idea as now. You might get like a thing on your phone sent to you, like a, what's it called, an Amber Alert or something along those lines. Back in the day, we didn't have cell phones, so of course they couldn't do that. So they decided to do it through a product most people had in their homes, and at this point, dairy milk was something most people had. Unfortunately, it didn't end up working out, mostly because by the time the picture actually got printed on the cartons and shipped out to stores, it was beyond the point where anything could be done. So, it didn't end up working out, but, like, I get the idea.
There was this program that was instituted beginning in the early 1980s where you had advertisements.
What have we had on the bingo so far? So far, satanic.
On milk cartons in the United States that were used to publicize cases of missing children. And I guess this campaign went on until the late 1990s. Where I'm going with this is, again, it's clowns and children always seem to be linked. And so it starts off primarily the 50s, 60s, 70s. You have the reinforcement of clowns and milk, and they're on these cartons.
I don't think this was as common as he's making it seem. I don't understand why he thinks milk was synonymous with clowns just because there were 2 clowns that were affiliated with milk. Chiba Hawk with 100 bits says, Hype Train, go, 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 and Diogenes 42. Thank you for gifting a sub. MH Dark Beast, thanks for 48 months, says, howdy Hannah, thought you might like this. Let me take a look. 29% to level 4 with just under a minute left on the train. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. I'm gonna save this for, let's see, another day. But I did see the other day you, bring that up. Humiliated Grapes, thanks for gifting 10 Tier 1 subs. Very, very generous of you. Thank you for the hype, or for all the hype stuff today, everyone.
And then you go to the 80s, and there's this decision to put children on cartons, and you know, these things all seem to sort of come together, and I think there's more to it. And I can see how this would be traumatic, actually. this could cause trauma. You know, you had these milk cartons at the dinner table and your children are staring at these missing
I
children.
don't know if that would cause trauma. It's a little unnerving, but everyone has some unnerving things in their life. That's pretty typical. That doesn't inherently make it trauma. Stone Corbell, thanks for gifting a sub, 49% to level 5.
And that might not be the best thing, actually, because
Oh god, is clown milk another name for cottage cheese? I've never been happier in my life to not like cottage cheese.
I think very few direct successes were.
I'll say that counts for Hannah mentions cheese on the bingo card. I didn't have to read that. That wasn't a, like, bits message or anything, and I continued talking about it myself.
Tied to either local or national campaigns. So on one hand, I understand it's a tool to help, but was the original intention something more nefarious? Who
No, it's not nefarious. What are you talking about?
knows? But as many as 5 billion milk cartons were printed with the images and details.
It is interesting to me the tendency for conspiracy theorists to project the reason for their feelings outwards, like, and a misunderstanding of those feelings at that. Like, they feel uncomfortable or uncanny about the milk carton thing, which plenty of people do. Myself, I get it. It's creepy imagery. It evokes certain strange, like, things in a specific era. So I get it. It does evoke certain feelings. But, like, as an adult, you would think you have the understanding that those feelings are the result of a lot of complicated connotations that you've picked up over time, and, like, an understanding of what this signifies, which is a very real or real children that have been kidnapped or taken or something, you know, that's disturbing. But instead of recognizing that, you know, the dissonance between the banality of a milk carton and the horror of missing children creeps you out, instead of recognizing that, he's just like, someone's doing this, it's nefarious, they're trying to make me feel uncomfortable at breakfast. Like, no, sometimes things are just make you feel uncomfortable. It's not an evil scheme to make you feel uncomfortable, some things are just weird. Moira Soma, thanks for 37 months, holy hell. Really, really appreciate it. 68% to level 5 on the hype train.
Details of missing children from around the country. So I just think there's more to this whole phenomenon, and I think it's a conditioning.
This is a much better choice of milk. Oh god. Femboy and tomboy milk.
From
Oops.
You know, and then once again, they'll just this whole
The milk of human kindness.
conditioning of children and clowns, and in this case, it was done through milk cartons and milk of all things. So just really weird, and I guess apparently faces of missing kids even adorned pizza boxes at one point. And well, we all know about, you know, this whole concept
Oh no!
of pizza and children, and I don't want to get into it, but
Yeah, I'm sure you don't. That's why you decided to bring it up.
you guys know. So again, just doesn't seem random, does it? Now, what I want to hit on is a really interesting documentary I came across called The Clown and the Candyman.
What? Minute left on the hype train, 68% to level 5.
Now, I was watching this documentary,
M. Scheffler, thanks for 100 bits.
and you know, I actually planned to stop making videos in this series. The Nephilim look like clowns. But then, you know, you just keep coming across more and more information that just seems to tie right in. So
Hey, Phoenix Leftist.
here we are. But I was watching this documentary, and they were focused on John Wayne Gacy, the clown killer from Illinois. And they actually were detailing how they got a warrant to go to his house and do a search. So as they were going through his house, what they'd done,
Moira Soma, thanks for gifting a sub, 78% to level 5.
of the murder home, it was filled with clown paintings and zigzag wallpaper. I mean, now if you've watched any of the previous episodes, I touch on these zigzag
Jaden
patterns
with 400
and
bits says, got paid, thank you.
clowns. It's just so bizarre. And
Thank you for the hype train, everyone. Much appreciated. Hate to bug. I gotta do this multiple times today. Call for action, capitalism. You know how it is. We are getting to the end of costume month. If you want another costume month, donate using the tip goal. All right, call to action ended.
here's just some photos. There's a clown.
I hate the system we live under. I just want to entertain people, man.
There was a clown painting right above his bed, and he had this interesting wallpaper, apparently, with these zigzag patterns. Just strange, you know, it's the context, right? These things seem to be associated with each other. And let me play you 24-second clip from this documentary, and it's just going to touch on these points.
From the time we went in, we could tell that he was marching to a different drummer, because the paint job, for example, the hall was painted brown, and then it had like a zigzag gold lines going up and down through it. I mean, it was really weird.
I mean, that's not even that weird, is it? It's literally just a line. I get it. I get the guy that they caught was a serial killer, so, like, he was, like, not doing great, but I don't know, out of all the things, is this the thing that you're, like, serial killer? Looks like every single house from a reality show in the early 2000s. Like, I don't know. Penekagami with 40 bits says, the children on milk thing was made sense on multiple levels. Not only was it a heavily subsidized product, that it became ubiquitous to the point that in the 50s, daily deliveries were made to your home, but it also primarily was a child product to promote health in our diets, as well as the entire point of milk and mammals is the sustenance of the young. Literally, few other products would be more appropriate for child awareness than milk. Yeah, but it wasn't, like, for the kids to be aware. It was for adults to look for kids, right? Like, kids weren't supposed to be looking for kids.
The hall was painted brown, and then it had like a zigzag gold lines going up and down through it.
Again, it looks professionally painted. Like, I'm not saying you have to like this, but I don't know if it screams serial killer.
I mean, it was really weird. Clown pictures were everywhere. He had one right over his bed.
So, yeah.
My Lady Liberty, if that helps, sure.
Yeah, very strange. Very strange. Just as a refresher, we see the zigzag patterns, and they seem to be associated with, like, another dimension and possessing spirits. And there's
another dimension on the bingo card, dimensions beyond our own.
This other phenomena called liquid crystal polarization, and these people almost seem to be being possessed, and there's these black and white zigzag patterns, and you can even
doesn't understand how cameras work on the bingo card. There's no new CC, unfortunately.
Look to,
or fortunately, depending on how you feel about CC,
the American Southwest and ancient rock art, and you'll find these depictions of these really strange looking entities, and there's all these zigzag patterns on their person. And even if you look at some pottery bowls of the Anasazi,
zigzags are just like any lines that are continuous but go at like 45-degree angles, or roughly. That's gonna show up in places where people depict things. That's an easy symbol.
You have these really weird looking figures and these zigzags.
Is this syncretism? It's not taking things from different texts, but it's taking the same symbol in different contexts and trying to say it means the same thing in all contexts. That also syncretism, or is syncretism specific to, like, texts and stories?
Zigzag pattern.
I don't know if anyone knows that.
And so, man, it's just this context, you know, because I think that these clowns and jesters, I think they're actually non-physical entities.
It's certainly spurious symbology as evidence on the bingo card.
Entities in an actual non-physical dimension. And as I've touched on, people see these.
That also counts? Nice. Unrelated cleanse. I'll save that for a little later. Thank you.
These jester type entities, and they encounter clowns, jesters, and jokers while taking DMT. So,
do you know what drugs are? I've said this before. People who are like, we saw mystical entities on drugs. Do you know what drugs are? Do you know what a hallucinogenic drug does? It makes you hallucinate. If you take hallucinogenic drugs and then are like, I communicated with spirits or clown aliens or whatever, you are on drugs. You are on the thing that does that. You are on the thing that makes your brain see things that aren't there. By definition. Did I watch Minuteman's video on my favorite TikToker? No, who's my favorite TikToker? Oh, God.
I think there's a whole lot more to all of this, and just really just interesting stuff. And yeah, here's just another photo of the zigzag and the clown painting. And was this, I guess John Wayne Gacy claimed to have an alter ego. So is it just is this all a coincidence? You know, I don't think it is, but I just wanted to present that to you guys.
Doesn't understand what a coincidence is on the bingo card?
Listen, now let me just hit on one video update.
Like you're just listing things that happened and saying it's a coincidence. This guy dressed as a clown. This guy had a clown painting. That's not even a coincidence. That's just two things that you think are similar. When are we gonna finish the Terrence Howard thing? I don't think we're gonna, because they struck my video. Like, I didn't actually get a strike, but they did take it down. I'm disputing it, so if the dispute goes in my favor, cool. But if not worth doing the second part, because it'll just get taken down again.
In a previous video, I touched upon this exhibit, this Maya exhibit, where they were showcasing a bunch of these pieces that were attributed to the Mayan Empire. And one of them was this container that quite literally looks...
Depraved Ambiance says, when a person assigns the same meaning to words or symbols or signifiers that should have different ones, it's inappropriate generalization. Children do that as a phase of language learning. Profane Priestess says, syncretism is actually an anthropological term. It refers to one element of culture, usually mythology, being equated with another. One of the most common is Zeus and Hades. Zeus ruled Olympus, and Hades ruled the underworld, so that it caused them to mix sometimes. Oh, okay. Penigami says, I'm so tired of the drugs let you pierce the veil and see the truth narrative. Oh yeah, the kind of thing people on drugs would make up.
Looks like a clown, you know, it's red hair.
I'm sorry I've been using syncretism wrong, apparently. I heard that elsewhere, and I must not have looked it up. My bad.
This pale-faced, and I think we're told, according to the narrative, that this is a spider monkey, but it just looks just very clownish. But this kind of prompted me to do a little bit more digging into...
Let me actually go back to hear that attributed to thing.
This exhibit, this Maya exhibit, where they were showcasing a bunch of these pieces that were attributed to the Mayan Empire. And one of them...
I can see where you're coming from with that, but I'm not going to say yes yet, because you might just... I don't know, why would you... No, okay, I think I'm on your side on this. There's not really a reason for him to say that unless he's implying that it's otherwise. Like, arguably there's a reason that you would if he was just being careful with his language, but there's not really reason to be careful with his language in this case, because who's disputing it? So I think you're right. I'll go with racist disbelief of historical achievement.
Was this container that quite literally looks like a clown, you know, it's red hair, this pale-faced, and I think we're told, according to the narrative, that this is a spider.
Is it pale or is it made of light-colored rock?
Monkey, but it just looks just very clownish. But this kind of prompted me to do a little bit more digging into...
Oh shoot, Unstable Deadbeat with a $50 tip says, unfortunately have to leave shortly to go back to work tonight, but so happy to get to enjoy a bit of stream before I go. It makes what has already been a really tough day and isn't nearly over yet a little more bearable, and in return I hope this helps. Thank you very much, that really does help. I appreciate it, and that gets us closer to Costume Month Part 2.
The Mayan Empire, and of course you come across this worship of Quetzalcoatl, and you come to realize that this worship became widespread even down to the Yucatan Peninsula, where it caught on with the Maya. And then I came upon this order called the Order of Quetzalcoatl. This Order of Quetzalcoatl, known as the Q. Now, there have been other people.
Is he gonna make the connection that would be the obvious connection for a conspiracy theorist to make? Freyline says, a scientist might say that because there may be some doubt or question to its origin. I don't think that's what he's doing. Yeah, that's what gave me pause at first, because if it was someone else, I could see, like, okay, they're just being careful with their language to, you know, explain that our understanding might be incomplete. But no, this guy's a random conspiracy theorist on the internet. He's not an actual person in academia, so I'm gonna say no, racist disbelief of historical achievements.
people who've come across this order, and they kind of just mentioned, obviously, how you have this order being known as the Q, and of course we have
Oh, they did it! QAnon referenced on the bingo card.
of QAnon. Where did that come from? And one of
Bumble Homestead with a $10 tip says, using my tip message to say I'm really liking the new season of Doctor Who. This is the first Doctor younger than me, and Ruby is only a few years older than my kids, so mild existential crisis, but a lot of fun nonetheless. 73 yards favorite so far. Same. I enjoyed that episode. I'm kind of enjoying the supernatural spin on this season. It's different. It's fun. And I really like the Doctor and Ruby, so I'm liking it.
their slogans apparently is "Where we go, one, we go all." So, again, is that random? Probably not. But for the
It's from the movie White Squall,
purposes of this video,
which I bought. God damn it. Hannah mentions Blu-rays, which I bought on Blu-ray specifically because of its association with QAnon.
and where my focus is, it's actually, when you start looking into this order, you realize they're comprised solely of Shriners. And once again, the Shriners, they have ties to clowns and jesters. And but apparently for this order, their main contribution is towards
You mean they have connections in the sense that they do hospital clowning? Because, they do a lot of work with children, with sick children and stuff. That's, a big part of what the Shriners do.
funds for
That's a tenuous connection at best.
Shriner Hospital. These things just keep intertwining. And yeah, just a refresher, you have the Shriners Hospitals for Children where they dress up like clowns, And then there's another...
Almost like they're trying to entertain children who are sick or something. Keep their spirits up. Those monsters.
Royal Order called the Royal Order of Jesters, and that order is comprised solely of Shriners. And again, so you got jesters, you have jesters, jokers, clowns, and children, and you've got this order of Quetzalcoatl. So just bizarre, but I just wanted to bring this to you guys' attention, and this was, I guess, just a license plate. Weird, very weird. So I think that is about it for today. And once again, I just wanted to thank my patrons. I believe we are up to 34, on our way to 100. And once again, really appreciate all the support that you guys have shown me.
Ah, interesting fella. All right, let's take a look at the bingo card, and then we'll get to the Jessie Lee Peterson segment, shall we? We have... Doesn't know what a coincidence is. Satanic. Hannah mentions Blu-rays. Correlation isn't... Oh, wait. No, we didn't do that one. Doesn't understand their problem is capitalism. Did we have that at some point? Maybe not. Racist disbelief of historical achievements. Dimension beyond our own. Doesn't understand how cameras work. Hannah mentions cheese. Spurious symbology as evidence. QAnon referenced. Is that it? Anything else? Ancient wisdom, I guess, maybe for some of that. Your Shriners count as Freemasons. They're associated, right? I'm not crazy, am I? Are Shriners some kind of subsection of Freemasons or related, or are they just a completely unrelated fraternity? I genuinely don't remember. Can anyone let me know? Because if they are related to the Freemasons in any way, I'll count it. They are? Okay, cool. Illuminati Freemasons on the bingo card. Wow, filling the card out pretty nice so far. Not too bad. Shriners are high-level masons. Okay, cool. I want one of those little hats. All right, here we go. Jessie Lee Peterson show talking to Flat Earth Dave. So let's check this out. I don't know how long I'm going to be able to even deal with this, because Jessie Lee Peterson and Flat Earth Dave are both individually insufferable people to listen to, so we'll see how this goes.
All right. So let me just say to the callers, I have a guest. And I have to get to my guests, and then I'm going to get to the callers and the super chats and all that. And so be patient. I will get to you. I will get to you. Did you hear that the Dalai Lama called somebody fat? What the? We'll get to that as well. We haven't done any soundbites today. What a mess. So I have with me...
remember way back when I fucked with Jessie Lee Peterson? Did I fuck with him? I don't remember. I know I talked to him.
A flat earther. A flat earther, right? His name is, my guess is David Weiss. And David is also known as Flat Earth Dave.
Have you ever seen flat earthers talk about and promote a flat earth app? A flat earth clock app? Dave is the guy who put that together and promotes it.
Flat Earth Dave.
He kept calling you a woman before you came out. True!
David is from the East Coast of the United States, where he was born and raised, and has some insight into the curious subject of our Earth. And he supposed to have proof that the Earth is flat. Isn't that amazing? So this should be very interesting.
I see the new Behind the Bastards is on Kent, aka inmate number 0645217. I did see that. Trey actually showed me earlier, sent me a message and was like, did you see who this is on? I'm excited to listen to it.
Welcome to the show.
Jesse, thanks for having me. Can you hear me okay? Can you see me?
He said Hannah was like her mom. I do look a lot like her.
I see you. I hear you.
I look